Welcome to my incredibly impromptu behind the scenes 5-minute total chaos creative day. So last weekend was a fantastic guitar show in Leeds. Everyone there was amazing, really enthusiastic, hugely into it. I had this wonderful faux pas where the big box was around here, the big box Grand Classic, there we go, failed miserably. I just plugged it in, it was like, I am dead. Obviously prototypes, kicking them around happens. But I brought the first of the better ones, first of the actual prototypes. It just worked. It just worked straight out of the box. I was like, whoa! So today I am on to making the daughter board for this thing as best as I can. And I've only got 5 minutes because that's the UV exposure time. So I'm going to show you around. All right, so over here is the daughter board PCB. Now, when we're doing this in the shop, as it were, everything's a bit more difficult. I use these transparencies. Here's a typical transparency. Now, first difficult thing is getting the ink black enough to block UV. That's really hard. And we do this by layering up multiple copies. Simple as that. How simple is that? So we have to strip back the board. Here's a board of all the nonsense, all the information, because we don't want it. And then we remove whichever layer. Okay, there we go. We just show only the information we want. And we print red copies of that and black copies of that for the top and the bottom. Then we have to go over here and measure out some circuit board. I use fancy board because using fancy board makes a much better quality etch. It's well worth a few quid extra. This is Bungard double-sided. We go over here to the amazing guillotine. After measuring it out carefully with our ruler, we chop it in little pieces. We then get our transparencies. Here's the actual bottom transparency, and load them up into the UV box. And right now this UV box is ticking away. See the UV, look at it, blasting it there. We've got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left on that. Once it's done in that, we will have to go and find, I told you it's chaos, I love the chaos. Look at my food, nom nom. Down here we have a plastic tub that is not yet filled, which will be filled with PCB photoresist developer. Good stuff, this is, only a little bit of that. We'll throw a little bit in that with some water. It'll develop it instantly. This tub here is waste etchant I haven't got rid of. I'm very, very good, I get rid of things properly. So today I refilled the tank first. So this tank needed a bit of a rebuild. Now these things deteriorate over time. They don't last forever. They need maintenance. And the pipe at the bottom here is deteriorating. I need yet another one, but since we left the EU, I can't actually buy them very easily because they come from Germany. So I just repaired it with a bit of PETG printed blockers, which work in there, some wire, and hopefully it'll just sort of work a bit. It works a bit. I know it works a bit because if we press air, we'll get air. It's not super even. You can kind of see it's bubbling out there, but it's good enough. Now I've emptied that, cleaned it, refilled it, and this clear stuff is the etchant because I use sodium persulfate. It's much nicer than ferric chloride. You don't need as much as they say you do on the packets, especially if you're not, going to keep it. So I prefer to buy a small packet like this, throw it in, we'll do a bunch of etching, tip it in the recycle tub over there. Now, hopefully once this is done, we'll be going, I've never done this before, this is going to be new, and under here somewhere in this darkened corner, is my laser cutter. Now I have a laser cutter and I have mylar film sheets of the exact correct thickness to create stencils. So I'm going to do surface mount on this board because it's a real deal thing. Now normally, go over to the professional area, normally I would have a professional one of these stencils made to apply the solder paste. Little solder pasting, and the solder paste is currently stored in the fridge, which is where it should be stored. There we go, there's a lead-free solder paste. But I'm going to hopefully laser cut one of those, and that will then allow me to apply the paste. Then I can use the magical machine of assembly, and hopefully this will assemble it. If not, I'll just do it by hand, because to be honest, there's not that many parts, and we can just tweezer it. Tweezer. But yeah, maybe that'll work. Then it will go through the solder oven over here. We'll go and blast all the solder through it. Well, actually, no, it won't. That's a lie. Before that, we'll go down here, and under here somewhere, it's buried at the back, there's a little drill stand, see a little silver thing at the back, and we'll drill the holes, and then we'll do that. And then we'll get out the hand soldering, and we'll go over here, and we'll get the hand solder and the magic hand solder, and we'll solder everything, and hopefully it'll work.